Welcome to a brand new episode of This Week in Apps. I'm Ariel from Appfigures and... Wait. That's better. Let's do this. Welcome to a brand new episode of This Week in Apps. I'm Ariel from Appfigures, and here are 5 things you need to know from the world of mobile apps and games. You know what I haven't talked about in a while? Streaming. The great consolidation of streaming services is starting, and it's the leader, HBO Max, that's paving the way. In the next few days, HBO Max will merge with Discovery Plus and consume all of its content. The move, which also resulted in the general manager of HBO Max leaving the company, might be seen as business as usual, but I think there's a more significance to it. See, I've been following streaming services for quite a while now, tracking HBO Max before it was even Max, and seeing the countless new streamers that have bloomed during COVID. And through all of that, I said, we're in a time of flux, where every streamer is battling for control and being very loose with their content. Once consolidation starts, you know that era is heading towards its end. So why is Discovery Plus, which spells its name with a lowercase d for some reason, folding? Probably because it couldn't scale. The new Discovery Plus app launched in January of 2021, and in its first year, it grew its net MRR to $3.7 million, according to our estimates, which is nice, but that's not really all that much when you consider Peacock, which isn't a leader in the category, ended 2021 with $10.7 million of net MRR, so 3 times. And Peacock offers a lot of free content that's powered by ads and doesn't require paying, and you see where I'm going with this. Not the same content exactly, I know, but that's exactly it. Content is what's driving growth, and this is the first of many mergers to come, in my opinion. And with that, a change in how streamers offer content and how much they charge for it and how we consume it. It'll take some time for it to really kick in, but it's the path we're on. Do you like the video so far? Take a second, give me a like. Thanks. Next up, Reddit. Reddit had a massive week in downloads, breaking its own record for most daily downloads in 2022 and coming very, very close to Reddit's all-time best from the meme stock days. So, which meme stock was it this time? It wasn't. Downloads grew sharply after Our Place, an experiment Reddit first launched in 2017, was brought back a few days ago. On an average day, Reddit sees roughly 100,000 new downloads across the App Store and Google Play, according to estimates. This week, as the 4-day experiment was coming to a close, download more than tripled. On Tuesday, Reddit clocked in over 360,000 new estimated downloads. Its previous all-time high, during the GameStonk days, remember those, was only 4,000 downloads higher, so we're not very far. But this is very different. What's different here is that Reddit created this all on their own and not some influencer. That's great news for a company that's on its way to an IPO. By the way, Our Place, the experiment, let Reddit users place a single pixel on what started out as a blank canvas. The resulting graphic, which continued to override itself as more users placed more pixels, is quite amazing, and you can see that here. I'll leave a link to the sub for you to check out later in the description below. This week, I ran through the numbers and ranked the most downloaded games in the world in March. Like February, it's full-on hyper-casual out there. Merge Master was the most downloaded game in the world in March, adding 35 million new downloads to its bottom line, according to our estimates. Merge Master was also the second most downloaded game in February, but with a much lower tally. So, someone is spending a lot more in advertising and spent a bunch more this month. Subway Surfers, the classic, came in second in March with 25 million estimated downloads, a few more than February. The other non-hyper-casuals, Roblox and Candy Crush, got pushed down a bunch into the 8th and 9th spots. Yep, it's hyper-casual season. Together, the top 10 most downloaded games in the world made their way into 164 million new devices in March, according to our estimates. Longer months mean more downloads, but March saw more than what I expected, which means those ad budgets are continuing to grow, finally. I also crunched the numbers to rank the most downloaded apps in the world in March. There are a few interesting nuggets here. TikTok was the most downloaded app in the world, earning its place on 50 million new mobile devices in March, according to our estimates. It was the most downloaded app on the App Store and the second most downloaded app on Google Play. And here's what's interesting. Look at how close its downloads are to Instagram. Very close. And that's while TikTok is banned in India, the driver of growth for Instagram. That's not a great sign for Instagram. Microsoft continues to occupy the spot it eased into a few months ago with Word, which got 20 million downloads according to our estimates. And remember what I remarked last month about how CapCut, TikTok's video editor, is consistently the last on our list? Oops. It did it again in March with 20 million estimated downloads. Going down the list, you'll notice Zoom is missing. Throughout COVID, Zoom was a definitive resident, but in the last few months, it's been more of a casual roommate. I don't know if we'll see it come back. According to our estimates, the top 10 most downloaded apps in the world saw 322 million new downloads in March. Like games, this is also higher than February, but unlike games, this is much higher. And it's not just about ads in this case, in my opinion, but it's rather about demand. Speaking of demand, jobs are a huge topic right now. While most of the media is focused on the lack of workers in the market, downloads of Job Marketplace Indeed tell quite a different story. Like most apps that require being out of the house, Indeed lost most of its downloads when COVID lockdowns hit. Downloads, it didn't recover for a long time, but that time's over. Job seekers have been downloading Indeed's mobile app in droves in 2022, past the break-even point and on to more than doubling its daily downloads. Pre-pandemic, Indeed had an average of roughly 650,000 new weekly downloads, according to estimates. Those downloads got cut in early 2020 and haven't really recovered fully until the end of 2021 when the average climbed to about 500,000. So far in 2022, every single week has seen more downloads than that, grown from a little over that 500,000 in early January to more than 1 million at the end of March. And that growth has been fairly constant, so we know it's not just a one-time spike. That's good news for employers, employees, and customers, and obviously Indeed. So a win, 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 win. And that's all I have for you this week. If you're curious which app is leading the mobile payments race, check out last week's episode. It's not PayPal, I'll tell you that much. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below and I will answer all of them. And if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. It helps me. I'll see you next week.